Hey, what's up? Happy Monday. I wanted to pop in real quick and continue the conversation around story and the importance of telling your story. I've had the honor and the pleasure of really deep diving into some amazing and phenomenal stories the last couple days, or the last actually couple weeks. And last week I was having a conversation with somebody in regards to their story. And as I was asking some questions about their experiences and some of the things that they've been through, the person that I was speaking to was like, Matt, I don't want to go back there, and I don't want to talk about that story. And they had mentioned about how much work they had done to move past that story. And I let him speak for a while and kind of shared the reasons why, and how they were like, I've gone through it and it's done, it's over. And I asked the question, I said, who needs to hear this story? Like, who needs to hear the experience that you've been through, and who needs to see the hope on the other end of that experience? And I watched as they began to become aware of the people that would be served by sharing the story. And she said, I never really realized the impact that it would have. I've only been attached to the feeling and the hurt of the experience, which is very common. I know for myself, for a long time, I wouldn't talk about that particular story, whatever that story was. The stories of being out of integrity with myself, of allowing people to make decisions for me, in a sense. The times that I would lack my own confidence in myself and allow other people to prioritize my life for me. The times that I would numb myself so that I didn't have to feel the hurt or the pain, the exhaustion. The times that I would step away from the shame that I was feeling about decisions that I had made. Going back into our stories is incredibly powerful. And there's a way of telling your story, of going back to your story without getting stuck in your story. What I realized by telling, the more that I tell my stories and the more that I go back to those moments or those choices, I realize the healing that I still need to have. It's kind of like a soda bottle. If you think of a Coke bottle or a soda, and you by nature it's nice and it's calm and it's easy. And as you begin to shake it up, it starts to build pressure inside. And the more that you shake up that soda bottle, the more pressure builds. And we eventually get to a place of either exploding or imploding. Exploding is very common, and for some people it's acceptable in society it's more easily seen. People see it as showing up in anger or frustration or yelling out. But there's the implosion part of where we self-medicate. I saw your comment about alcohol, and that was me. It was the drinking, it was the drugs, it was the not wanting to feel the emotions or the hurt and the pain that I was feeling. You see, our emotions don't go away. We can learn to manage them, but we get to a place of having to understand them and get to a place of healing around them, and then giving them back to the world. When you think of personal development, or a space of healing, there's no one way of it being exactly right. Like, there's not just one way of healing, or just one way, like a one and done. Which is why there's always people recommend different books, different types of reading, because we absorb information in different ways. There's somebody out there that needs to hear your story. I appreciate you, Robert. Thank you. Thank you, brother. There's somebody out there that is waiting for your story. There's somebody that's waiting to hear it said in the way that you say it. There's somebody that's waiting to hear your experience, to see hope on the other end. You know, we're in a space of this COVID and you know, going 9, 10, 11 months of being in lockdown or and away from the people that feed us, the people that give us life, that inspire us, the human connection, the seeing each other, just the simple hugs. And right now, if any time, is the time where we should be reaching out more to our community, more to our people, sharing more of ourselves. Suicide rates are higher than they've ever have been. Domestic violence rates are higher than they ever have been because people are feeling the pressure. Like the world has been in a space of pressure. And if you and I are connected, there's a reason, because our spirits are connected in a way of service. We want to impact others. So it is our responsibility to reach out. It's our responsibility to share that there's hope. And the biggest asset that you have is your experience. The biggest asset that you have is your story. It's the things that you've learned. It's the moments of clarity, the moments that you wanted to give up, but you kept pushing forward. You know, we get so attached to our likes or the comments or, you know, nobody watches. Well, you don't truly know who's watching you. Because the person that's hurting the most are the ones that are the silent the most. I just saw a friend post about one of their other friends who committed suicide over the weekend. And he posted that. He's like, man, I wish he would have just reached out. I wish I would have known. Because he seems so happy. And the truth is, some of us are really good at hiding our emotions. I don't know if you're good at that. I know I've been really good. I can look really happy on the outside, but feel crushed on the inside. You never know who's watching. You never know who's looking for the inspiration or just the simple opportunity to laugh, to feel connected, to feel like they're seen, to feel like they're heard. I want to encourage you to continue to share your story, to continue to share your story, one, for you, so that you get the healing that you need, so that you're not attached to the emotion anymore. You don't get stuck when that story comes up. And then the more that you tell your story becomes for the healing of others. For the person you may know or the person you may never meet, but they hear your story. Your story is powerful. Don't sleep on your story. So I just wanted to come on today. I've got another call that I'm going to jump on, but I'm loving this opportunity to hear people's stories, to hear moments, take out pieces, and then give their story back to them. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like I don't have a story, I'm not sure what my story is, I want to invite you to jump on a call with me for 15 minutes and let's just pull out some pieces. I know and I am committed to creating a bigger ripple in this world. And especially this year, especially right now. So if I can help you, excuse me, if I can help you tell your story a little bit more, then you tell your story and the ripple continues. And then that person is impacted and the ripple just gets bigger and bigger. So my calendar, if you want to jump on, is go to www.iclaimvictory.com. Schedule a 15-minute call. Let's just have a chat. But I just want you to know that, one, people are watching. I'm watching. and your story matters. I love you, I appreciate you, and I hope you're having an amazing week.